Hey everybody, it's Emily, the Crazy Worm Lady. I'm here today with the Worm Factory 360. And I added a little bit of coconut coir to this the other day because I was just a little bit concerned it didn't have enough bedding. But if you recall, the worms have just been flying through the food that we put in here, although I only did what did I do? Piece of watermelon last week. And they actually do have a lot of bedding left over. Here's that avocado shell that you just heard crack. And we have lots of springtails, but look at how healthy the worms are in here. Just trying to turn this up to make sure the moisture feels good before I add anything further as far as moisture is concerned. What was this? Looks like a piece of ginger, maybe. Probably from that soup stock. Still have some of our pieces of the corn cob, but it's actually breaking down and you can see the castings inside of the actual cob. So you know the worms are going in and out of that there and doing their job. Got another avocado shell. Lots of springtails. And a good handful of worms. Nothing makes me happier than seeing all these worms. There's still actually a little bit of flesh inside this avocado that they'll be able to work through, but it's loaded with springtails as well. But all in all, there's no major food source at all left in here for these guys. Just a little bit of the slower breaking down stuff, the avocado shells, the corn cobs, but not seeing any major sources of food. This bedding is rather dry, so I don't think we'll have to add a whole lot of that this week. So I'm thinking I'm just going to clear one of these sides up a little bit and we'll just feed primarily, let's just do it differently. Let's just feed the front. So I'll try to do this without making a mess because this tray is getting rather full, but I'm just going to lift a lot of this off the bottom here. And we're going to feed kind of right along the grates, but I am going to lay down just a little bit of newspaper first. Just like a whole sheet folded up. And then we will feed right there. Okay, so I put some shredded pieces of newspaper down here. A little bit of oyster shell. I'm just going to mix some in here too as well. This is going to be my genius way of keeping the food inside of a pocket while it thaws out, because as always I didn't give myself enough time to thaw out the food before I wanted to film this update for you guys. So I've got quite a large bag of food. I should have gotten open first. Here we go. I'm just going to dump this food in here. Might not put it all in because there is a lot. Oh, there's a bag within a bag. Don't know what that's all about. Let's see how much we have here and then we'll reevaluate. 1 second. This looks kind of gross. I'm not sure what this is, so I'm going to leave this for a second. I'm going to pull out one of these banana peels and grape stems. and ask me why I just switched my gloved hand to be the one holding the camera. Makes no sense because now my hands are getting gross with scraps, but hey, what can you do? So, I don't know, that's a decent amount of food throughout here. This grape stem will be here forever, but I like to put them in anyway, see what happens. If nothing else, it allows for a little bit of aeration. So, let me set this bag out of the way. And I'm just going to wrap this paper down over it here. And let me switch to the proper hand here. Then I'm just going to cover everything up with the existing castings, and the worms can work their way in when they're ready. So, I think that's what we're going to do for this week. That's also a good way to really make sure everything's covered up well. This level's getting pretty high. We might have another week or two of feeding before we have to start a new tray. In which case, since we have 2 going now, I would want to get ready to harvest the bottom tray to try to keep those castings from getting too compact and moist that it's hard to harvest. So that's the plan for this week. Drop your comments below, like this video, subscribe if you'd like some more content from me, and I'll be back next week for a full update.